What's going on, guys? Alec here from Oz Fury Gaming. This week we've had some nice little gifts and information from Star Citizen, and it seems like Chris has got some nice stuff too from the New Zealand side of the world. So first off, guys, I want to talk about this nice little gift too that we managed to obtain from Chris about the Xi'an, the nice little concept there, as well as this mission giver tree showing us all the different stuff that's going to be coming out for us, as well as just what it's going to be like to communicate and what it's going to be like if you're on the right side or if you're a criminal in regards to the law. Another thing too they've been working on, guys, was commodity and ship persistence, as well as shops and kiosks, updating the cockpit layout, which we'll get a look at later, and as well as converting old legacy stuff like the back end to do Fusion, which is their new section, so such as your friends and all that sort of gear. They've also been moving on to persistence cache, game server management and matchmaker, persistent database, and they've added a couple more people to the team. Now, another thing too I wanted to talk about, guys, was they've been working on the Drake Cutlass, showing off how the different damage states will be working on the ship and what we'll be expecting to see as it moves into live or testing and then to live use. Shown here too on the actual final graphical tear apart. So just look at the detail in this mid section as it gets torn apart. I just reckon it's purely beautiful, especially here with this front wing falls off. It's just so great to see this sort of work being put into it. Another thing, guys, was animation work shown here. Mess hall, showing grabbing a tray and a plate and carpet moving along and doing all sorts of stuff. Next following, guys, is they have this motion capture gear set up, showing that they did kind of forget a couple of little animations and that they just had to recapture that with this brilliant team. Now, some of the stuff they've been capturing here is the actual cargo load. So as you can see here, placing it on a shelf, pulling it off, making it sit and all that sort of gear. Pulling it off a top shelf and what that's going to look like. So just some really cool work going on there. As a side note, guys, I want to talk about too how it's important that we get this animation work into Star Citizen, not just for Star Citizen alone, but Squadron 42, so we can indulge in the universe they're building for us, as well as too they've got this Dragonfly for us as we enter from 0G, with a pilot being knocked around in a combat situation. Now, so this video down of the Gladius where they're showing off the new cockpit loadout. I want to show too in the top left hand corner there the engine shield and weapons triangle configuration that we can play with. So it's going to be really cool to see all that sort of work come into play. Now also, guys, we had Turbulent talk to us about their 0.34 update, which is going to be about tags, and also talk to about how they're hearing the feedback, guys, and understand that people aren't enjoying the nested threads. They'd rather just the standard thread if they could select it. So they're going to change that from a select reply option to an actual view option. Other features were basically making it easy to find answers from Ask the Dev section, or if staff have answered a question. They've been working on integration between Spectrum and the game itself, as well as they actually showed off the art to the Austin studio with Chris Roberts and other guys, getting an idea for the site revamp. So they're doing all that sort of gear. Next on the list, guys, was Citizen of the Stars, and they had Kieran Eric Davis jump on and have a chat. Well, more answer questions, but he definitely answered some good questions. He answered a lot of things about what he does and stuff like that, but he answered a really important one about the 300 series.
When is the 300 series revamp going to happen?
We are aiming to get to it towards the end of the year.
And then one last question that I thought was worth a mention, guys.
Will insurance operate differently or be voided for known criminals?
I don't have much information, but we did kick off that off last week and expect some more maybe a segment on that in the future.
So there were a few more answers, guys, in regards to dragonflies and cargo bays, and the space wells obviously are going to be culled from the concept list, which I'm not really devastated about. But it was just good to see that they had some actual questions answered, as well as keeping it funny. So one other thing was Happy Hour is going to be bi-weekly now. So with all that sort of being said, guys, I'm going to leave you with the May subscriber flare. Leave a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed the video. There hasn't been a huge amount of information this past week really from around the verse. It's just more tie-ups of stuff for 3.0. So hope to catch you guys around the verse. Toodaloo.